Airways has cancelled flights between New York and Johannesburg due to the effects of bad weather. Now, the weather has caused quite a congestion at the JFK airport. The eastern United States was slammed by the massive winter storm early on Thursday morning. A monster bomb cyclone storm that battered the U.S. East Coast this week is creating economic hardships. The eastern United States is experiencing record-breaking low temperatures following a powerful blizzard. Weather forecasters said temperatures in New York reached an all-time low. They added that wind chills could make it feel it as cold as minus 42 degrees Celsius in parts of the country. The so-called bomb cyclone winter storm wreaked havoc in the region during the last 3 days, killing at least 22 people. It brought with it heavy snowfall, giant waves and flooding. Earlier on, we spoke to SAA Spokesperson Tlali Tlali, who had this to say.
We are dealing with a situation that is out of our making here. We are, in the first instance, had to deal with the adverse weather conditions, and secondly, had to deal with severe congestion at the JFK International Airport that resulted in us cancelling the flight. If you look at the situation in the last 4 days, we cancelled flights on Thursday. We were able to operate on Friday. However, and regrettably, we couldn't operate yesterday, Saturday, and today as well. We had to cancel flights. So we are trying everything possible in order to mitigate and minimize the impact of the inconvenience that is caused to our passengers. And the one way of doing so is to communicate as timely as possible to our passengers so that they are also able to consider their options. But we are also pursuing a number of options from our side in order to assist our passengers.
And speaking of minimizing the impact of this current developments, has any arrangement been made, like alternative traveling arrangement with the SAA customers?
Those are the issues that would, under such circumstances, would automatically activate. A part of the procedures that we have in place when faced with situations of this nature is to present a few options to our customers, one of which would be an option for passengers to rebook. That means that they would consider a future travel date other than the date that is part of what is reflected on their ticket. The second option is for them to reroute their travel. In other words, they would travel from a different location en route to their final destination. In this instance, as you may be aware, we fly to 2 points in the United States. We fly to New York and to Washington, D.C. So for those passengers who are stuck in New York, who are able to be facilitated to Washington, D.C., and where there's availability of flights and seats, we will be able to accommodate them on SAA flights without them incurring additional costs in the form of penalties. And the third option that is also associated with that has to do with upgrading our aircraft. We normally operate a right gauge of aircraft to Washington, D.C. based on the demand. But based on what is happening, we are deploying a bigger aircraft so that we are able to accommodate more passengers from the United States who are flying back to South Africa.
Will customers be refunded? I mean, those who wish to cancel their flights altogether with SAA and then seek to use other airlines, will they be refunded?
Customers would be refunded subject to the conditions that are attached to the class of tickets that they purchased. There are different buckets of tickets when you purchase a ticket, and each ticket has conditions that are attached. But as a general rule, passengers do get refunded